Hello. We should mention drugs on all opportunities that you can. I do this as myself. If you look at my videos, I'm always like, in my video about Mount St. Helens, I go, oh, can you feel the trippiness come out of that rock? You know, it's like, imagine smoking marijuana or eating mushrooms and doing that rock. That's me expressing my political ideas on all counts, on all terms, all opportunities. And so if you see me do that, you should be like, "You're cool, Kyle's cool." I've never heard anybody say otherwise. Actually, yesterday I got a comment on my video where I entitled, "How much money should I have before I ride on my van?" That I live in my van. And I think I mentioned in the video, like, yeah, and smoke crack or whatever. And some dude comments yesterday and he's like, what? You shouldn't legalize, like, drugs. Like, my sister died of a drug overdose and stuff. And it's like, well, yeah, that's great. We're talking about that. But whatever you believe, you should say it. I think that illegalizing, like, plants that have like effects, physical effects on you, should be illegal. Oh, and somebody actually told me, somebody's been calling me on my phone and leaving like phone messages and like wondering why I don't like answer my phone. Like, who is this? Is this you, Seamus? Like, Seamus? Like, who the hell has been calling me, dude? Anyway, he's like, you should do a video about marijuana. So yeah, okay, this will be my video about marijuana then. Yeah, dude, marijuana needs to be legal. God made marijuana, or the Atlanteans. Who fucking cares? It's been around forever. It's natural. It's free. It's free. And whatever's free needs to keep going, because if we need to think of ourselves as one big happy family. Obviously, that's like, everybody knows that. And one big happy family, they do stuff, when they look out for each other, they do stuff that's cheap, you know? You're hanging out with the family in the kitchen, and you're like, well, what are we going to do for vacation? Well, let's go here because it's the cheapest. Let's buy this because it's the cheapest. Duh. So a human family? Yeah, we should have drugs that make you have fun and give you insight and help your body, and create ropes and textiles and fix glaucoma and all this stuff. Well, keep it free as much as you can. Even free energy. Keep that stuff as free as you can. Obviously not totally free, because you need somebody to oversee it and maintain those things. But yeah, so don't illegalize marijuana or mushrooms. It's crazy that they have that stuff illegal, and they yet they have all these other, like, drugs are legal, which we don't even have fully figured out, that have all these side effects, and cause all kinds of other problems, which cost money to patch up and fix. I mean, that part I agree with Dan Winter, and that, yeah, something that's the most natural. But I think that was all of these, like, medicines that are engineered by companies. When you do it with a selfish motive behind it, people start to make shortcuts, and they start to not do their research, and they just get it out to save money. If you're doing it with a bad intention, then it's going to cause problems. If they do it with a good intention, it'll be fine. It's like the full proof of God. But yeah, but I do think that there's lots of medicines out there that are harmful and aren't good, just because it's to make money. And yeah, at the same time, marijuana and mushrooms are illegal. So it's a travesty. So we should be out there spreading the word. And I'm in a good place, well, you know, and not just spreading the word, like making a video, and this is why we should legalize marijuana, but actually mixing that in with all of your normal videos. For example, like, if I were to make a video about talking about the history of like the world or politics or whatever. And it's designed for kids. And I'm here and I'm like, yeah, you should smoke a bunch of weed or eat mushrooms and look at my history timeline. That's me spreading my ideas. And some like really conservative person, control freak type, might be like, no, but you shouldn't say that because I've never actually heard it, but I wouldn't be surprised if I did. You shouldn't say that because the kids, you're turning kids on to drugs. And it's like, well, yeah, duh, I'm turning kids on to drugs. Well, you shouldn't turn kids on to drugs. I'm like, oh, yeah? Well, that's what you think. You're welcome to explain it to me. But don't just tell me what you believe as though you're automatically right. People do that all the time. They tell you stuff as though it's right just because they believe it. And that's like one of the big problems with the world. That's why we're so divided. You've got the fundamentalist Christians who think that you live once and then 10% of the people get to go to heaven, and then the rest, 99% of the people have to burn in hell, and they're right and everybody else is wrong, so they don't have to explain it. And then the Buddhists, you know, I have a Buddhist video. Buddhists should believe in God, and then all these Buddhists are like, no way, Buddhists shouldn't believe in God. You're wrong. And it's like, well, you're telling me that because you don't believe in God, and I'm telling you should believe in God, and so then you're telling me that you shouldn't believe in God because you don't believe in God, whereas what we should be doing is you don't believe in God because fill in the blank. I'd love to hear you fill in the blank, but people don't do that. They're just like, we don't believe you because we don't believe you, and we believe this because we believe that, and yeah. So we should all, we should spread what we believe about stuff and intermix that in and make it clear. Wear your heart on your shoulder. And if somebody disagrees with you, well, they're welcome to argue about it. But and if somebody, for example, like my history timeline, if somebody doesn't like me saying that, then you could just and you like the idea of my history timeline, and you would like to explain history with my history timeline, but you don't like the way I do it because I'm always like, yeah, you should smoke weed and watch this. Oh yeah, this is a trippy thing to contemplate. Well, maybe you could use my history timeline and tell history your own way, only not include that. But I have to include mentioning drugs at all times because it's my duty to throw that in. And that's the logical reason, but then there's an emotional reason, is that I'm drawn to it. It gets me off. It makes me happy. It makes me fulfilled. It fills my heart with gladness when I get to just freely express what I believe about stuff. Because I really do believe that when I say something. I never say stuff that I don't believe, ever. And that's and like, I guess people don't understand that, or people don't understand the value of just saying what you believe. And it's really puzzling to me why people don't upload videos on YouTube explaining what they stuff, or why they don't have what they think about stuff, or why they don't have websites explaining what they think about stuff. It's like, well, you already know what I think because I'm a Democrat, you know? So why should I explain? It's following somebody else's agenda. You know? No. So, and I can get away with it more than your average person because I don't have a job right now anyways. And when I do get a job, it's just going to be like at McDonald's or like digging ditches or some kind of job where they're not going to ask me what my email is, my website is, or obviously I will tell people my website, but people aren't going to be like, if they look at it and they think I'm weird, they're not going to like fire me because of that. So, you know, if you're in a position where you can be free, and it's kind of like a flip, a 180-degree flip. I did a video a couple weeks ago called Paradoxes, Pole Shifts in Consciousness, where a lot of stuff flips 180 degrees the other way. Where a lot of, and the examples I gave were like, you know, a strong person in the old days would like not take any shit from anybody, but now a strong person would take shit from people because that's just stupid to like, you know, beat your chest and puff your chest out. That's what the main message of Jesus was. But also there's another 180-degree shift, and I may have talked about it in the video, but poor people actually have more, like in the past, it was the rich people, the high classes, who had the most power to say whatever they want. That could be like, you know, you're gonna follow this religion. You people are gonna, you know, believe this, basically. Follow this religion. You're gonna believe this, you're gonna believe that, you're gonna believe this. You're gonna be able to go here, you're gonna be able to go there, you have to say this, you have to go here on Sundays, all that kind of stuff. Say whatever they want. But now, with technology, it's actually the poor people who get to say whatever they want. Because nobody cares what they fucking say. And there's so much information out, nobody's gonna look at you, and you know, they need the poor people to keep doing the job. So a poor people person could be up there like, yeah, legalize weed, legalize mushrooms, legalize crack cocaine, smoke it. You know, run naked through the park. Yeah, I ran naked. I was naked all day yesterday. And people can be like, yeah, whatever. But if you were like a rich dude, like the president of some like multinational corporation or something like that, and you were saying that kind of stuff, you'd get blackballed. You'd lose your job. You'd have to get a job over at the McDonald's. So, not even because, and this is a whole nother video, which I should do right now, not even because those people believe it, but because they think that the status quo is against that, and they want to be with the status quo because that's what's going to like make you money and keep you going. So then they tell you, you know, that's not your position. Your position and the high up is to do what the status quo says. And I guess in that respect, poor people had more freedom to say whatever they wanted in the past as well, but especially in these days. So yeah, you want to take advantage, and if it means that, you know, I'm not ever going to delete my videos. So if this means that I can't ever get a job as a teacher or in kind of high-powered job, and I'm going to have to work like low-paying jobs the rest of my life, or just like not be in any position of like authority or whatever because I express myself. That'll be fine for me because at least I feel free, and that's the most. And I'm showing people the right way, and it won't be like that always. I think people will be able to speak whatever they want one of these days, soon. So I would encourage other people to do that as much as you can. And if you can't do it, don't get jealous because I'm doing it. You know, just roll with it. And I think a lot of people do. So anyways, that's the title of that video. If you happen to think that, like, you know, drugs, well, not drugs even, they're not even drugs, like plants that get you high, marijuana and mushrooms should be legal, then throw that stuff in, pepper up everything you say. Be like, yeah, look at the view of this mountainside. Doesn't it make you want to smoke marijuana? You know, oh yay, haha. You're advertising, because that's what the world is about these days: marketing and advertising. You know, the car racer drives down the road, and he's got people's frickin' advertisements all over the place. That's what people do. They advertise. So don't just advertise for money. Advertise for your ideals as well. In fact, advertise for your ideals more than you'd advertise for money. It's more in line with who you are. So there you go.